KSMR Koffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Koffin Radio. I'm Heartthrob Rob, and today we are reviewing Young Rock Season 1, Episode 12, A Christmas Peril. The bio here reads, Christmas Eve 1982, an unexpected guest shows Dewey that this is the first in a long line of terrible Christmases. In 1987, Rocky and Dwayne take jobs as a mall Santa and elf. In 1993, Dwayne reluctantly spends a disastrous Christmas with Coach O. I was glad to see this back, man. This is actually episode 12 of the first season. The last season was like 6 months ago, however long it's been. Show doesn't actually come back till I think March, I believe. Maybe February, but I believe March. But it's so good to see all the original cast here. We get to see young Rock, middle Rock, and old Rock, or the older Rock, and then we get to see the Rock himself, of course. We get to see the mom, the whole family, Rocky Johnson, the grandma. It's so good to see all these casting characters. I'd forgotten how well they mesh together and how well they all work. It works so good. But the kind of how it starts here is it's a play off of A Christmas Carol. It's called A Christmas Peril. It's The Rock, and he's working on his movie that's currently going on that he's shooting. And he has to work with this little girl, and he has to, she's kind of nervous and stuff. So he breaks down this story about all the worst Christmases that he's had. So it shows him as a little kid, and Grandma's putting on a wrestling event. Macho Man's there, Andre the Giant's there, the Wild Samoans are there. Everybody's there. Iron Sheik. It's beautiful. It's great to see all those familiar faces. And he's expecting this Cabbage Patch doll, and that's all he wants for Christmas. And he ends up getting some horrible, stupid knockoff, and he hates it, and he's so bummed out about it. And the one who actually shows it to him is the middle-aged Rock when he's in high school. So it's got that whole Christmas Carol vibe to it, like he's the ghost of Christmas past or the Christmas future and all this crazy stuff. So Rock tells him, hey, you think this is the worst Christmas, but let me show you what's going to happen. So it goes to high school, and in high school, Rock is... he's got to take an extra job. This time family's not doing so well monetarily. So he has to get a job working at the mall. And he's a Christmas elf, and Dad is the big black Santa. You know what I mean? He's beefing with the cheese guy who can draw a bigger crowd, brother. And as the Rock is, as Middle Rock is there and doing this stuff, and he's doing dances and stupid stuff with his dad, in front of his enemies at high school, his ex-girlfriend and the dude who took his chick. So he's just all bummed out about that he gets into a fight with the guy, and they tear up the whole fucking place, and they end up having to pay for everything out of their own freaking pockets with the paychecks that they work for. So they get nothing. This is a total wash. And so he's like, no, this is the worst Christmas. And then who shows up but the old Rock, which is great. He says this is the worst Christmas, but it's great to see them all together. You're never going to see them because every episode is either young Rock, middle Rock, or old Rock, and to see them all together is cool. Probably not going to happen again for quite some time. So it's good to see them mesh. But in this future, he's not hanging out with the family. The family's doing their thing, and he goes to hang out with his coach because coach doesn't want him to spend some time alone. But he ends up putting salt in the coach's mom's dinner for that night, which is some gumbo, and she's like, "Oh my God, how dare you touch my gumbo!" And so, she goes to the hospital or whatever, and they spend the hospital together. And it's them hungry, bummed out about life that they don't get to really party on or enjoy Christmas because you're in a hospital bed. But and he says that's the worst Christmas. And it looks like it's, he's won, and this is all the worst Christmas, and that's how it's going to end. But all of a sudden they show, they kind of get hit with a light, and this little trail lights up of snow, and they get taken to Andre the Giant, who's in the afterlife, and they're hanging out, and he's like a spirit or whatever. And, he's showing them, hey, man, you got to find the silver lining in all this. And everybody's making the best out of the worst decision, or, a bad scenario. So it's very cool to see him, put that positive spin on it, and all of them rejoice. And hey, yeah, maybe everything's not so bad. But it's nice to see them all together here. Quick 30 minutes. I wish it would be so much longer. It's good to see, like I said, it's good to see the old cast around with Mom and, Rocky Johnson and all this. Grandma. It's just great to see the whole cast. It's definitely a teaser. It's, one night off. It's A Christmas Peril. But I really can't wait to see the next season of The Rock, or Young Rock. So I'm really stoked for season 2. Very good episode here. Super stoked. I really don't like Christmas episodes, but I'm not mad about this one at all. But let me know what you guys think, man. We'll talk about it in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you like what you're watching, then hop in the Koffin. Follow us on social media at Koffin Radio. Koffin is spelled with a K. And that's all for today. I'm going to turn my fucking jacket on. Hold on, everyone. My jacket turns on. Yay! It's a Christmas episode! Alright, now.
S is for Koffin Radio.